Hey guys, what's up? It's Trunks. I'm over at Fullman Morte today. We're going up against the Golden Goblins in a mid-season CWL match. We're going to start a new series here today. I'm going to bring in Sue, 4-Pack Sue, who is a 2-star specialist to give you guys some 3-star advice. The first base, this was just actually a 3-star fresh hit. It was by Teddy Zoo on their number 24. We're going to go ahead, open up the base, and what we're going to do is break it down and discuss why you would do what you would do, how you would scout it, why to bring certain troops, why not to bring other troops. Looking at the attack, he's coming in with a 4 healers, 10 Valks, 4 Hogs. He's got CC bowlers, 2 heals, and 2 rages. So when you're scouting this base, why? Basically, he comes in with a queen charge at 12 o'clock. So why would you use a queen charge on this base instead of bringing in golems or something else?
Well, I think whenever you're looking at any type of charge or walk, one of your biggest things you're going to worry about is your funnel. And I think coming from 12, you got a very easy funnel. You got the town hall and the dark barracks that you anchored out on, and then basically force your queen inside. So once she gets inside, she gets a ton of value. She's going to get both the heroes, the CC kill, and not only that, but she only has 3 point defenses on her. So she's not going to be under a lot of fire.
All right, and so he has the 2 rages. So why would you bring 2 rages, 2 poisons? When necessarily would you use them? Because obviously the queen is going to have to take on 2 point defenses. The queen, possibly that Barb King, and the clan castle. So how would you go about dealing with all of that? Even though you say it's an easy funnel to get up in that area.
Well, for me personally, whenever I try to bring a double poison, I'll single poison CC and then save the other poison for the Archer Queen or the BK, depending on where I come in at. So I think here, a single poison for the heroes gets them some good value, and then a rage through the heroes, and then a poison on the CC and an ability, and he's got an easy kill of both. So I think the double poison here is actually very beneficial to use early. I know some people like to save them for the skelly spells for the Hogs, but only bringing 4 Hogs for this, the Hogs aren't really the hard part of his attack.
And I think you bring up a good point there. A lot of people mistaken the poison spell to be a damage spell, but actually they forget that it has the decreased damage and the decreased attack speed. So when you're doing a queen charge like this, it's very useful to actually drop a poison on the royals when you're encountering them, with a rage, and your queen can get through that pretty easily. So as you're saying, when he comes through that area up there, it's pretty smart to bring the double poison with the rage. I also see, though, he has no tanks, and he decided to bring Valks. So why would you decide on a base that's kind of spread out like this to bring Valks over coming in with the traditional cold-blooded, shattered or stoned golem attack?
Well, this space is so open that Valks are just really gonna shred through the space, especially under rage. They're gonna get out fast, and they're gonna stay ahead of everything. I find whenever I bring a single golem, it pretty much is good for your entry, and then after the first or second compartment, your Valks are in front of it, so it's not getting any tanky. You can drop the golem and actually bring some giants, and those keep up with the Valks a little bit better. I've actually been experimenting with the giants, and I've been having a lot of success with taking 6 giants rather than 1 golem whenever I'm using the Valk Bowler combination.
All right, now looking at his spell comp, he has 2 rages and 2 heals. The Valks are known to kind to just wander sometimes if they're in big compartments. Why would you choose in this type of scenario to bring 2 rages and 2 heals over a possible jump to try to direct your Valks in a certain way?
Well, you got the CC bowlers, and that's the thing with Valks is they have a really weird AI, and they seem to target exactly where you don't want them to. The CC bowlers staying with the Valks under rage is going to shoot over the wall and kill the 2 bones closer to the wall, so it's going to help with your Valk funnel. And as long as you're bringing in the surgical Hogs and the surgical loons, which he actually brought both this trade, and you're keeping up with the defenses on the edge, you're pretty much going to create a natural funnel for your Valks. And between the rages and the hills, it's just a deadly combination.
All right, so at that point, I think let's go ahead. We'll run the replay of this attack, and if you want, you can go ahead and commentary for us. We're about to go ahead now, and I'm going to hit the play button, and you can run us through it. So he starts off with that queen charge up at 12 o'clock, as we said before.
And also note that, from good scouting, he realized that he didn't even have to, drop anything down to get his wall breakers in. That's a good job scouting. And then also the minions that he drops down. If you watch throughout the raid, they get so much value. Not only is he creating a funnel now for his actual queen, but he's also creating a really good funnel for his Valks.
As I said before, you can see he gets that rage down once that queen encounters that Barb King, and he's still got both the poisons actually saved. So when he gets to that queen attack, or taking on that queen, he can easily drop a poison on there if he wanted to. But knowing that there's no point defenses really on her at that point, he's able to save both of those poisons, which is actually a pretty patient and cool to actually see that he waited for that to see what would happen.
Yeah, and I think that's a very smart rage because he actually got benefit from that rage through both heroes, and then he pops his ability on the CC, and essentially now his queen is already on cleanup. There's nothing up top that's going to be shooting her, so she's basically on cleanup duty right now.
So yeah, then he goes ahead and he gets those Valks down, and like you said before, he had those minions actually working. There were some that were out of the screen that we couldn't get in there, but he had those minions working. So when those Valks went in, like you said, there was really only one place for them to go. The bowlers came in, behind, and they start clearing off some of the trash. And then he's able to use those the heal that he has, that he brought left for those Valks on the backside, and they actually, like you said, they funneled right exactly where he wanted to go.
Yeah, and I think the bowlers actually help him a lot, and a lot of people are scared to commit so many spells to their kill squad, and for like a stone goboho or something, they want to save the heals for the hogs. But I think that's one thing that we need to get away from, because keeping the bowlers alive is a lot more beneficial, because surgical hogs is going to help you in the long run, because you're still going to have 4 or 5 bowlers up that are just wrecking the base.
So yeah, I mean, as you see, he's finishing up on the base right now. He has the queen pretty much at full health. The healers switched over to the Barb King, got them back up to full health. Like you said, he kept those bowlers. He focused on keeping that kill squad up, so he had all of his bowlers left. The Valks eventually, some of them died off. He had a couple hogs still standing there in the end. I mean, pretty much just wrecked this base. But like you said, I mean, kind of some of the key things to look at is once the queen got through that top compartment where she dealt with the royals, the clan castle. Like you said, she was on cleanup. There was really nothing else to challenge her up there, so he was able to commit all of his spells down at the bottom. We'll go ahead and play it through one more time, just so that way you guys can see some of the things that we were talking about. Focus on those a little bit better, and all. But like you said, I mean, this was overall a solid, attack. He was able to scout a lot of this stuff for the fresh hit, and these are the type of things, when you're going for the fresh hit that you need to look for. Can you create easy funnels? Can you access the base at an easy point? Is there an easy, if you choose to go with a queen walk, is there an easy area to walk through? And one of the key things that a lot of people, when they look at a base, the two key things that you want to look at is how you're going to deal with the enemy Archer Queen. I mean, the Barb King you can kind of get away with leaving towards the end, but the Archer Queen, I mean, she can pretty much eat up any of your troops really quick. And the second thing, to look at is the clan castle, which, you mentioned before, he had a solid plan to deal with all of those.
Yeah, and I think another thing, we can note that's very well in this attack is the combination of hogs and loons. He gets a good value at 6 o'clock early in the raid with, I believe it's 3 loons, and, he's able to help establish his funnel. Also, while you're bringing in your Valks as they're taking on the air defenses, a combination of loon and hogs is never a bad thing. For example, over at 3 o'clock, where he's got 3 cannons and a mortar, there's pretty much nothing that's going to stop two loons, and you're getting a lot of value out of two loons versus a heavy hog entrance over there. So I think that's one thing that we can note too.
Yeah, that is one of the key things. And, I see a lot of people starting to mix that in a little bit, the hogs and loons for the cleanup, instead of just going traditionally now with, all loons or all hogs, which is very smart. I mean, as far as scouting goes, and, people should look at that, is if you're going to leave, have a specific base charged and leave, say, on the backside, maybe there's a cannon and a mortar as your final towers. There's no need to bring hogs for those when you could bring a single loon that will just take out those last two buildings, or bring two just in case if there's a trap over in that area. But it's very smart because then you can commit, extra camp space later in the raid to assure that you're going to get to that last spot. So the combination of the loon and the hogs, like you brought up, is a very good point. To actually know, because a lot of people don't really think about it that way.
Yeah, I think it's all about smart troop comp and being able to bring in two loons to get 2 or 3 defenses where they're not going to get targeted versus bringing in 6 hogs. That's 20 troop space. So I think that's something that people need to pay a little bit more attention to as well.
Yeah, well, we just made it through the second replay. Is there any final comments that you wanted to make before we go ahead and wrap this up?
I think we're good. Just keep crushing it, guys. This has been 4-Pack Sue here for your recap.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you guys like what you're seeing or you have any questions, go ahead and leave comments down at the bottom. Subscribe to the channel. We'll go ahead and try to bring you a few more of these, maybe once a week or so. But if you have any questions, like I said, just leave them down at the bottom, and we'll both try to get back to you guys.